Let me find out. You lost your matchup last week because the NBA Cup
mini basketball
whooped your freaking butt.
That sucks.
In this episode, we gonna get you ready for the rebound for week 9 on the waiver wire. We believe every NBA fan should play fantasy basketball. The first player we want to take a look at is Justin Champagnie from the Washington Wizards. They are riddled with injuries right now. Chris Middleton, out. Bilal Coulibaly, out. Alex Sarr, out. Corey Kispert, out. So there's tons of opportunity for this young man to get some run. He's already seeing some signs of greatness because he's solid on the boards. He also has the ability to rack up some defensive stats, steals, blocks, the whole 9 yards. But check this out. Over the last 7 days, your man Justin Champagnie is averaging 25.5 minutes per game. Let that sink in. His season average is just 14.1 minutes per game. So these are signals that we look for when we want to find some players that could have some short-term or even long-term value. For rebounds, he's averaging 10.5 rebounds over the last 7 days, 8 points per game. And check this out, 1.5 steals per game. And you know what we say around here, top is off, boobies is out, hair blowing in the freaking wind. If he's available, I would grab some Justin Champagnie. From the Boston Celtics, Jordan Walsh. We talked about him last week, but I had to bring this joint back. I said he was the reincarnation of Jason Tatum last week, and I don't know what I was thinking when I said that. But now looking at the way this man has been performing, I might be onto something. And Boston is already, they've been experimenting, right, with some different lineups, specifically with Josh Minot, and also they've been just testing out what they have in some of their younger players. Like Kata has been getting some run, all of that. But Jordan Walsh is an X factor. Over the last 7 days, your man is averaging 29 minutes per game. Yes, 14.5 points per game. Come on. And there's more. 7 rebounds per game. Yes, and this is the one that's going to make you fall out of your freaking chair, drop your iPhone in the toilet. Your man is averaging over the last 7 days 3 steals per game. Your man is cooking with hot bacon grease. Now, I had him on a couple of rosters, dropped him, picked him up. This is a player you might want to hold. On the 11th versus the Milwaukee Bucks, he had 20 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals. On the 7th against Toronto, he played 26 minutes, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals. Guys, in his last 5 games, he's racked up at least 1 steal with multiple steals in 3 of those 5 games. Your man is a theft merchant. And he's grabbing the boards, and he's putting up some buckets. I would hold and see how this plays out. Jordan Walsh is an interesting character for fantasy basketball. From the Utah Jazz, Kyle Filipowski. Now, Kyle Filipowski is somebody we were super high on in the offseason. Didn't quite hit his stride early on, but over the last few games, your man is really doing his thing and putting on for the city. Check this out. Over the last 7 games, he's averaging 27.5 minutes per game. Yes. 11.5 points. Come on. 7 rebounds. 1.5 assists. But 1.5 steals per game. Against Memphis on the 12th, he had kind of a dud burger, but on the 7th versus OKC, he went off. 21 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. This is the type of performance that could help you win your matchup for the week. Now, I get it. Kyle Filipowski has not been the model of consistency when it comes to fantasy basketball, but while he's on this heater, even though he just came off of a dud on the 12th versus Memphis, I would hold on to him or grab him to see how this plays out. From the New Orleans Pelicans, Herb Jones. Herb Jones is a player that we talk about off and on. He's just like his floor is going to be okay, right? His ceiling is going to be nothing to write home about, right? So what you're going to get from him consistently is going to be valuable for fantasy basketball, whether you're in a points league, category league, high score, sleeper lock-in mode, whatever you're playing in, Herb Jones has probably been on your roster at some point. But Zion has been banged up, so there's going to be opportunity there. And even though Herb Jones is coming back from an injury, he's getting the minutes immediately, which is a really good signal. And also, when you talk about Herb Jones, you have to talk about his elite defensive skills. He's going to get you some blocks. He's going to get you some steals. And even though he's kind of a low usage offensive player, he can still chip in some points. And of course, he gets you some rebounds. So for that reason, I'm picking up Herb Jones. From the Memphis Grizzlies, Jock Landale. Now, Zach Edey is banged up, and it looks like he might be out for a while. There's going to be some opportunity for Landale here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab him, see how it plays out. He might have an expanded role while Edey is out. I think Edey's going to be out for like a month. So there's no telling what could happen in terms of fantasy value for Landale. And right now, when he's starting and getting 20 plus minutes, he produces double-digit points. And that's what we look for. He also gets solid rebounds. And there's one more piece to the puzzle, a little bit of sprinkle on the top of him. He can even get you some threes as a big man. So for me, I think he's a streaming option, someone you drop, add as needed. But if you're in a deeper league, like a 16-teamer, he might be a player that you hold on to just to see how it plays out for this next month while Zach Edey is out. If you know anything about me, you know that I love a hard-nosed NBA player, somebody like Jimmy Butler who just throws some elbows in the paint. Naji Marshall is that kind of player. He is cut from that cloth. So I'm looking to add him because he's on a bit of a run right now. Over the last 7 days, he's averaging 32 minutes per game. Yes, 17 points per game. Let that sink in. That's up from his season average of 12.7 points per game. 1 rebound and 4 assists and 1 steal. So the points are really what I want here. So in a points league especially, Naji Marshall is the type of player that I'm trying to pick up from the waiver wire. From the Orlando Magic, Anthony Black. Anthony Black has been on and off my roster for a few weeks this season, especially with the injuries that we're having in Orlando. Franz Wagner out, so there's going to be opportunity for him. Definitely worth a short-term look. But when he gets in the game and he gets the opportunity, he's going to get you mid-teens in the points. He's going to get you some assists. He might get you a steal or two. And also, he can knock down some threes, especially if he gets up to that 30-minute mark. His shooting percentages are a bit shaky. So if you're in a category league, that's something you want to be mindful of, but he will contribute in multiple categories. So if you're looking for a decent streaming option this week, Anthony Black is a player I take a look at. If you're new around here, I'm Robin Marks. I used to work for NBC Sports and #basketball. I'm a member of the Fantasy Sports Writers Association, and I'm here to serve you. Please visit BelieveInFantasy.com if you want to join our free community. We have over 2,000 fantasy basketball sickos in our Discord. We also have a free newsletter with over 5,000 subscribers over on Substack. So we're here to provide free value for you to make sure you win your fantasy basketball championship this year. Now, you know I'm digging at the bottom. Now, you know I am digging at the bottom of the freaking barrel from the Los Angeles Lakers, Marcus Smart. Now, I get it. This is not a sexy name any longer. There might have been a point in time when Marcus Smart was a staple of someone's fantasy basketball roster, right? That is not the case these days. But he's had a run of just a couple of games that are worth noting. So feel free to drop as needed. But over the last 7 days, surprisingly, your man Marcus Smart is averaging 16.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, 2.5 assists, about a half a steal, and a block per game. Against San Antonio on the 10th of December, he had 26 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. Right? So come on, like that's value. I'm not saying this is the number one waiver wire ad in the universe. I'm just saying give him a look. If he keeps this up, he might be worth an ad. From the Memphis Grizzlies, Cedric Coward. Now, we had him on the show. He was even a cover boy of our show. And also, we were high on him during the offseason. He's been on a bit of a fantasy basketball roller coaster, right? Up and down, up and down. But there is enough opportunity in Memphis for him to carve out a consistent role. One thing that I always say about younger players, right, especially rookies, we don't know what they're going to become. Right. So a player like, I talk about SGA quite often because I have a horror story of losing him when he was a rookie in a dynasty league where I was just like, the kid's averaging 11 points a game. I need to win some matchups, whatever. He ended up becoming an MVP. So with a player like Cedric Coward, I'm not saying he's going to be the next SGA by any stretch of the imagination. What I am saying is that his ceiling is not visible to us yet. We don't know what his ceiling is going to be. With that being said, when he gets hot and he's able to put up some decent stats for you for fantasy, that's when you hold and just see what happens with him over the next few games, because he's the type of player that I've seen some really interesting signs of what could become. And he's the type of player that I would just hold on to when he is producing. And if you want to keep producing, check out this episode for our top 50 fantasy basketball players.